What's up, guys? Welcome to the Fomo Factory. Happy Easter and slap the mic. And today I wanted to tell something very important. I don't know if you noticed, but it's the last day of the quarter and of the month and of the day. And I don't know. And Bitcoin is about to do something very special right here, which could lead to an extremely bullish momentum. So let's talk about that real quick. Welcome to the channel. Like the video if you feel like, hey, I'm gonna like the video. Subscribe to the channel, turn the bell notification on, check the Patreon for exclusive private sales of the best projects at the moment. And let's dive right into it. I don't want to make this too long. I twisted my back. I'm still sick. I'm all fucked up. And before I'm gonna die, I want to get this out of here. Bitcoin is sitting at an all-time high. Obviously, the all-time high is now sitting at 73,000 something. But if you look at the previous all-time high, that was sitting at 68,997, according to the index at least. And we are at the moment above it, right? Now, what's, in my opinion, really important for Bitcoin to do is that we close the month above it, because then we have the first monthly close ever above the all-time high. So there will be the highest monthly close ever. Now that can be really bullish, because that could really set the indication for Bitcoin, like, okay, we left this number behind us and we can now go up from here. If we look at the previous markets, where my line's at, my camera is always right in the way right there. If we look at the previous markets, you can see that once Bitcoin closed above the all-time high, it completely mooned, and it went like in 1, 2, 3, 4, another 4 green candles in a row. And the time before that as well, line. If we look at this, Bitcoin was struggling right here, struggling right here, struggling right here. We had to close above, and then it just went skyrocketing. So that's definitely what I'm watching. You can also look at this on the weekly, of course. Also quite important that we really close here, because this would be the highest weekly close ever as well, right? We went above it 2 weeks ago, but we did not close it. We closed below, we closed below it. Now we can finally, did we close below it right here? Yeah, we'll close below it. Now we can finally close the highest week ever. That would suggest that it's going to be really strong in this market. Now, if we do, and I want to talk a little bit about my strategy as well. I just got off a call with someone from the Patreon, so I'm all fresh into the strategy. If we do take a look at the Fibonacci right here, you could see at the 0.618, we got a small rejection. We went down with like 20% and we blasted above it, right? So Bitcoin looking really bullish if you compare it to that. However, if we do take a look at the total 3, for example, so everything but Ethereum and Bitcoin, you can see that we are not there yet, let alone sitting way above it. Right, Bitcoin is already sitting here. Total 3 is still sitting here. If we do take a look at the others, right, everything in the market except the top 10, you could see though that we are above the 618. So also for the altcoin market, it's super important that we close at least above 330 billion. Now, that's not like it's not a very small difference. It's a difference of 4%, right? But anything could happen in a day. It's crypto, right? We have seen days of 30% red candles. So like, what's 4%? Right? So it could definitely happen. So, but let's assume the positive right here. If we do close above it, it's going to be really bullish. Also for altcoins, it's going to be really bullish. And what I can definitely see happen is that altcoins do kind of the same as Bitcoin. They just go all the way to the all-time high in one leg, maybe retest it and then go up, right? And that's the big correction that we should expect to get. Like, where the fuck are the big corrections this cycle? We have a correction right here of 10% for the altcoin market. That was it, right? It's not healthy anymore. We should get a huge correction sometimes, right? It's not up only, but maybe after we done this, that would be really a bullish sign. In the meantime, I know for the Benjamin Cohen lovers out there, they look at the Bitcoin dominance and be like, oh, this is going to break up. It's going to break up. Then again, every time the Bitcoin dominance does go up, it gets rejected again. And I know it's higher lows right here, but you must understand that the Bitcoin dominance is now sitting at the same point as where it was in October 2023. In October 2023, Bitcoin was sitting at what, 30K? It's now sitting at 70. So while the Bitcoin dominance hasn't done anything, Bitcoin more than doubled. Okay, so that means that altcoins, hey, they are going up. Not because they are outperforming Bitcoin. In fact, they are not doing anything else than Bitcoin. It's not underperforming, not outperforming. It's just flat. But because Bitcoin is going up, altcoins are going up as well. At a certain point, we should see the Bitcoin dominance tanking, right? Could it go up first and then tank? Of course, I don't know, but it should go down at some point. And that would be an alt season. And if that happens during the fact that Bitcoin holds up or goes up, that's where our bags can explode. And a lot of people feel like, nah, some altcoins, they cannot go that high. I spoke about it before, but you know, Bitcoin is a $1.45 trillion market cap. Some altcoins sitting at 100 million. Like, it has to do more than a 15,000x to get where Bitcoin is. So, you know, a small fraction of what's sitting in Bitcoin going into that altcoin could already completely explode that altcoin. And the money that's been taken out of Bitcoin, we don't even notice that, right? So an alt season is definitely on the table. Now, my strategy, to talk a little bit about that, I had a strategy and I'm now having multiple strategies, and I want to go over what I'm doing. Not saying that this is the best, it's just what works for me, right? Some people, they love to fuck around with meme coins. I don't really do that much. Basically, I actually don't do that. But some people, they like to trade a lot. You know, my strategy was to start with that. My strategy was buying Bitcoin and dollar costing with $1,000 weekly in around this period. And that went very well. I'm up on my Bitcoin. And I know there were always people that say like, well, you missed out on the altcoin market because you invested in Bitcoin. You know, bro, Bitcoin did a 374% gain. And the altcoin market did a 395. So that's basically the same, right? So if you invested in altcoins or in Bitcoin, returns are the same. Right, and again, of course, there are altcoins that perform better, but there are also altcoins that perform worse. This is the average, right? So that made it very clear until this day. Like, yeah, you know, I took less risk by being in Bitcoin for the same rewards. Fine, but like I just showed with the Bitcoin dominance, I feel like this is up enough right now. It's going flat. It's clearly showing signs of at least slowing down. Plus, if we do take a look at the Bitcoin dominance without USDT, USDC, Ethereum, Cardano, and XRP, the coins that I don't really expect much returns on anyway, so all the stables, basically, then the Bitcoin dominance is going down, right? So it shows like, hey, Bitcoin season is over. It's not a clear, big, fat alt season yet, but alt season or altcoins are having, like, since June last year, they're going better than Bitcoin, right? So I put my Bitcoin, most of my Bitcoin, into altcoins. Now I was lucky that I bought like really low on a lot of good altcoins like Cedarfy or whatever back in October somewhere when the prices were like really low. But there are also people that just now come into the market and they be like, what should I do actually? Right? And the answer that I can give you is, hey, I would just DCA because it can go up like crazy from this point. It can do boring stuff from this point for months, or it can crash completely hard from this point. It is all possible. You don't know. And you can save all your money in the hope for a big crash. Maybe it goes up, right? You can wait for that big crash. Or you can go all into crypto because you think it's going to go up, and then we get a 40% crash. It could all happen. So my strategy right now is I have multiple portfolios. I have my main portfolio, as what I call it, at least for my altcoins, and that's a bag of, you know, most of these altcoins are in there. I have my Ronin chain, I have my Beam, I have my Illuvium, I have my Chainlink, my Super, my Ultra, AVAX, Volkerforged, Playable Games, IMX, like these kind of coins. That's the bag that I think like, hey, I don't really want to trade that too much. At the end of the bull market, I look at this and these will probably be worth more. Could this do 100x? Probably not. But that's not my intention. I don't want to make 100x. And it sounds weird, but if I want to go for 100x, I should be prepared to lose everything by tomorrow morning as well. That's not what I want. That's not my strategy, right? The coins that really, you should understand this, the coins that actually can give you 100x are also the coins that have an extremely high chance to completely wreck you. There is no coin out there that can give you so much returns without any risk. That's not how it works, right? So for me, it's like I need to take a 5-10x on this portfolio. That would be nice. Then I have my cash portfolio. I'm always in cash, right? I'm always in cash because you don't know. You don't know what's going to happen. Like I said, like usually the market, especially in the bull market, has crazy corrections. So far, it's not the case. Hey, that could be the argument for this time is different. But it could also be the argument for not yet, right? We don't know. So if we do see a good 40% correction, I made a poll once and like I said, I asked like, hey, how much cash do you have? And a lot of people, they are barely already completely into crypto. And I'll be like, ooh, a good correction is gonna hurt you, right? I don't want to be hurt. I can't take it. So I'm in cash. Also, so I can just deploy at low levels, right? You'd be like, well, low levels, you already missed out. Like, it can go up like this and then go down, and that's a low level. Yeah, but then there are also new coins on the market that I can buy. So keep cash. That's what I do. And I have my my Moonshot portfolio. My Moonshot portfolio is a portfolio with coins at a $10 million dollar market cap or lower, that I feel like, hey, this could potentially 50x or something like that, but it could potentially go to complete shit as well. And that's where I have money that I feel like, okay, if I miss it, sucks, but won't like really negatively affect me that much. That's what I do. So it's also good. Like I'm taking some DGM risk right here, right? That's also what you should do. So that's my Moonshot portfolio. I think that 5% of my complete portfolio is in there, something like that, and that's fine. Yeah, and then the thing that I'm making most money with, here we go again, for the people that are, you know, familiar with the channel, you already know what I'm going to say, launch pads, pre-sales, I'm going to say this fully convicted. The highest rewarding way in crypto with the lowest risk possible, period. You cannot name anything else. You can, but I won't agree on that, right? Because it's very simple. Like if you invest in Seedify and you participate, or in whatever launchpad, and you put like $1,000 in a new pre-sale, you are the first to buy. So there's a high chance that it goes up. So you make money, right? Especially in the bull. And if it goes down, you have a refund policy. What's there to lose? Yeah, or the launchpad that you're investing in has to go bankrupt in the middle of a bull market or something like that. But hey, in a bull market, this is the best way to play it. So that's what I'm doing. And I currently have like 50, 60, 70 investments running. And it's not all a lot. Some I invested a lot of money. Some I invested a little bit. But I'm getting money invested from all these different projects day by day. And some are getting invested over a couple of months. So I have to wait a few months from now. But these are also investments that I made like a year ago, right? And I saw the potential in these launchpads. And we spoke on the channel about Seedify at 60 cents. Like, hey, you know, I'm in, right? And you had to have the conviction back then, to do that. And now it is paying off. Right now, a lot of people be like, yeah, launchpads are too expensive. Yeah, now they are. You should have been there back then, bro. If you're not, yeah, then it is getting more expensive. And it's not too expensive. I mean, you decide how much of these tokens you're going to buy. But you have to realize, like, man, in the last bull market, CeDeFi as well, it was sitting at $10, right? Would have cost you $1 million to get the highest tier on CeDeFi. You would think to yourself, like, who's going to buy this? Well, apparently enough that it does another 2x from that point, right? And you don't have to go with the highest tiers, obviously. What I did as well, I, of course, didn't put money out of my ass and put it into the highest tier or anything. I, started with low tiers and worked my way up and made a 10x on a lunch and put that money back into CeDeFi and got a higher tier and higher tier. And you can still do that. It's harder. It takes more time. It takes more conviction. Well, it takes less conviction, as CeDeFi is already proving that it does well. But it's harder right now, but it's still possible. So that's what I'm doing, sitting in Launchpads. Now, why I am talking so much about CeDeFi whenever I talk about Launchpads, I don't know. I just feel like good with CeDeFi. But there are many Launchpads which are very affordable. If you look at a Dicubate, had a big run, by the way, but it's still the quality that they deliver. It's a very affordable Launchpad. But you could look at a Spartandex, you could look at a Game Starter, a Finceptor, at a BSC Starter. There are so many plays out there, and Sidespad, Portal is coming with a Launchpad. I don't know how the tier system there is, but there are so many plays out there, and it's gonna pay off. It is gonna pay off. If you look at this right here, Crypto Rank, still have it here, by the way. If you look at Crypto Rank and you look what CeDeFi is lately releasing, they had Bloodloop. Come on. If Bloodloop doesn't at least do an instant 10x on listing, I don't know. At least. All right. But also Castle of Blackwater did pretty fine. Block Games, I expect that to do really well. Orify as well. Gaming did okay, right? But Eva Farcan is still sitting at a 10x. Chappie still sitting at an 8x. Open Fabric still sitting at a 9x. Solid is still at a 23x. Soil still at a 15x, right? Chain GPT still at a 50x. Hypercycle still at a 9x. Like, it is not the period anymore where you see this kind of stuff, right? All-time high, 180x. Current, 0.05. Why is that? These projects, the Launchpad game has changed, and I've talked about this a lot, right? Like, this project released in August 2021, okay? When was that? That was over here, all right? So by the time the tokens mostly got vested was here. Yeah, that's fucked up. If you now invest right before the halving, that's more like here. Right, so you get most of the tokens vested over here. Right, so it's gonna be way more healthy for the returns. If you do not, golden tip. If you do not want or can invest in Launchpads, there are two alternatives that I gave you. One is Web3 whales. Right, we invest in crypto pre-sales, and you just stake the Web3 whale token, and according on how much you stake, you can get the share of the profits that we make. But two, also, that's what I'm saying, there's Patreon link down below. We run private sales, and to give you a little sneak peek right here, we had the private sale for Monkey Empire, Evermoon, and Play Ember, and the best is still about to come. So that will cost you barely anything, and you can invest a couple $1,000s into such a private sale. So do check it out, because with a community you stand strong, right? And that's what we have built. And I know that Launchpads are the way, so I'm fully committing to that. But that's my strategy. So I'm gaining these Launchpad tokens daily, and that's my form of a passive income. But hey, maybe you, believe it or not, have a job. All right, take that money, put it into crypto, stake it somewhere. I don't know. What's your staking period? Of course, like, don't stake it. Don't go in August 2025. Be like, oh, I'm gonna stake this for 2 years. Like, no, you'll be an idiot, of course, right? But make sure that you have money and let that money make you money. That's very simple. So if we do take a look at the altcoin market, hey, we are sitting above the 618. Could it be that it's a fake out and we get a good rejection and go back around this level? Chart wise, technically would make a lot of sense, right? And that's not a small fall right there. That's a fall of 33%, which could be 50-60% on your actual portfolio. But have the mindset for the long term. Know what you're in for, right? Know what you're in crypto for. I'm in crypto because I know, at least I expect that the market in 2025 is going to be way bigger than what it is right now. And what happens in the meantime is noise, right? I got off the call with somebody and I also said, like, man, you know, it feels quick right now, right? It feels like a lot. How do you think that this year felt? We completely crashed harder than we did this cycle. We gained 350% like we did over here. But from here till now, it took us 71 weeks. Here we gained that same 350% in 28 weeks. Like, way faster. Like, it was like, whoa, 4.5x up. What the hell? Okay, we're going to make it. Bull market. And then, bam, COVID. Fuck you. Everybody lose their money again. And then, wick, huh? Okay, we're back. What the hell? Going sideways for a while and people be like, whoa, what's happening? And then we start the bull market. So like I said, whatever happens now, you know, go up very hard, maybe go down very hard, maybe go sideways, maybe keep on going up. But it's all noise between what's happening between this bottom and the next top, which in my opinion is still coming the end of 2025, right? And therefore, I'm now using my time to learn, to allocate, to invest, to make my strategies work. And you should have a plan, What I would say, make your plan first. Like, what's your plan? You want $1 million for some reason. Maybe that's the plan, right? Okay. How much do you have right now? Do you have 10K? Okay, so you need to make 100x. Is that possible? If you are willing to take a lot of risk, it might be possible, right? But you have to take a lot of risk if you want to make 100x. So you should also be willing to completely lose everything that you have. On the other hand, if you're in crypto and you be like, I have 400K, I need to make a 4x to change my life. I would say, put it in the market, maybe just even in Bitcoin, whatever, but put it into the market. Don't go too risky. You know, ignore what happens in the meantime. In 1 year, 1.5 years later, look, and you will probably have reached your goal, right? But look at your goal first. Don't just go blind shooting right there and throwing shit at the wall, hoping it sticks. It won't work like that. I know you hear these success stories of people about meme coins. They put $10 in a meme coin, now a millionaire. Yeah, like I said this before, but that's like plane crashes, right? Like, it barely happens, and therefore, if it happens, you hear it all over Twitter and all over the news. But it's not common that happens, right? So be careful with that. Crypto is not a casino. It's still investing, and it's more than just gambling right here. So my strategy, pretty clear right here. And sometimes you just have to wait. Like now as well, if you look at Bitcoin on the daily chart, yeah, not a lot is happening. Like, we were in this phase. Oh, exciting. Little boring. Oh, exciting. Right? Oh, fucked up. Okay, nice. Boring. Right? Like, you know, sometimes it is just boring for a while. We're sitting around 69K for like a month now, give or take. This could take another 3 months. Could definitely happen, right? Here we were from December until February, 2 months. We were sitting at around 42K. Very boring, very boring. And then you might think like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna make something happen, and I'm gonna do this. Nah, don't do anything, right? Like now, I'm not selling, I'm not buying, I'm learning, I'm working on my community. So join everything that's in the link down below or whatever. But I'm just making sure that I'm getting the knowledge, because these are the opportunities where you can catch up a little bit, where you get some breathing room. Right here, you just have to be like, okay, let's make sure that our money is at the right place. So yeah, that's it for today, I would say. So that's my strategy and my vision on what Bitcoin needs to do today to make sure that we have a real bullish close. Like I said, we don't have a lot of room. We do not have a lot of room, especially for Bitcoin, right? It only has to go down with like 2.3% or so, and we're below it. And that could happen in a second. It's crypto, right? We have seen days where it was like absolutely like here, for example, was a day -6%. Here was a day -11%, -5%, -8%, like it's super common. Like that's half of the complete chart basically where we have those days, right? So it's still 50-50. If we close below it, then I would say, hey, it's weak again, and the structure is actually, for now, we had a low, we had a lower low, we had a lower low, we have a high, we have a lower high. So then it could actually be another lower low, and that would mean Bitcoin 60K, probably somewhere like that. And then you want to look where the, you know, big resistances and support levels are sitting. But yeah, 58, 59K could happen. If we close above it, hey, that's still not a guarantee, but it's actually showing us like, okay, there's a lot of strength in the market right now, and we could go a lot higher than where we are right now, and that would mean like somewhere between 96 and 86 should be a slightly longer term, but a target actually, if you look at the Fibonacci. So do with it whatever you want. I'm not a trader, but this usually works out pretty well for me if I look at things like this. Do with it whatever you want. Patience is key in this market. That's all I know. For now, if you want to like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the bell notification on, check the Patreon down below, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Happy Eastern weekend, what's left of it. Bye.